Senator from the great state of Alaska.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I've come to the floor this morning to speak on the resolution of disapproval that is before us, but I want to make just a few comments following my colleague, the minority whip, and I'm pleased to hear him say that he does look forward to the opportunity for hearing on Judge Gorsuch and the opportunity for a vote. I think we recognize that we have in front of us an individual who has truly a stellar legal reputation, an individual who has committed himself to the law in a remarkable way. When he was before this Senate for confirmation, moving up to the 10th Circuit, he enjoyed very strong support. And I would like to think that on yet further review of this very strong individual, that our colleagues will do the due diligence that is necessary, that is required as part of our role of advice and consent, and give that same show of support that they had previously. And I look forward to that. The comment was made, and there's so much that I will respond to at a later time when I go into more detail about my support for Judge Gorsuch and why I think that he is exactly the type of individual that we want to see named to the Supreme Court. But the comment has been made not only by my colleague from Illinois, but from others, that somehow or other Judge Gorsuch is for big business and not the little guy. And it seems that the criticism is based on this viewpoint that courts should not defer to federal agency interpretations of their own rules. And certainly big business is a frequent challenger of government overreach. But as you and I know, Mr. President, so are ordinary Americans, people like John Sturgeon, an Alaskan who really took on the federal government, took on the agencies, took on the Park Service because he was told he could not operate a hovercraft in an area that he had traditionally, historically, for decades, for years. And John Sturgeon, on his own, with the help of a few friends that came together and had everything from garage sales to help fund his litigation to just the generosity out of their own pockets, they took all the way to the Supreme Court the question of whether or not the Park Service's regulation had exceeded the legal authority. And I happen to believe very strongly that Judge Gorsuch is clearly on the right track here when he questions the deference that courts give to our government agencies. And I think most Alaskans would probably agree with us on this point, that when you're talking about the scales of justice, they should not be tipped in favor of our federal agencies. So again, I'm pleased to hear that the minority whip agrees that a filibuster is not appropriate, is not the way to proceed with this fine nominee, and I look forward to learning more about Judge Gorsuch, but also to be able to share more of my observations at a later point in time.